Hello everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is the card that I'm going to be making today, so if you stay with me I will show you how I made it. For this card I'm going to be using the vintage leaf stamps and the leaflets framelets that accompany them. I've got the Greatest Greetings stamps, and I'm going to be using Go Green from that set. I have a base of Whisper White cards, the thick Whisper White, and I've cut it at 4 inches by 11.5, and I've folded it at 5 3/4. I'm going to be using a mat of the Always Artichoke DSP, and this is from the Regal stack, and this is 4 inches by 5.5, and I think I'm probably going to use it with the script cider. I've got a scrap piece of crumb cake for stamping, and I've got one of our Whisper White envelopes. I wanted the leaves on this card to be made of quite a thin paper. I didn't want to use even our normal Whisper White, not even the thick Whisper White. And I hit on the idea of taking one of our envelopes and opening it up and using that to work on. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got one of my leaves mounted up onto my clear block here, and I'm just going to ink it up with Always Artichoke, and I'm just going to stamp. I've got my silicone mat underneath because this is photopolymer, and I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got a nice clear impression here. And I'm just going to use this particular stamp for now, but I have gone ahead and cut out some of the other shapes as well. Right, so I'm just going to do that for now because I just want to show you, just maybe with 1 or 2 of them, how it all is going to work. I'm just going to do these 2 leaves now just to give you the idea. So I'm going to start with my lightest colour, which is Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to ink up my sponge, and I'm just going to go all the way over the top of that, and I've just got a notification on my tablet. That's what that saucy whistle was there. Alright, so next I'm going to come in with, I think, a bit of pumpkin pie. And make sure I've got the right sponge, because pumpkin pie and tangerine tango do look quite similar when they're just on a sponge. Alright, I'm just giving that some. I'm leaving some areas of the Daffodil Delight uncovered. Right, so now I've got the tangerine tango. And there's no science to this, I'm just sort of playing to make it look how I think it should be. Alright. And a bit of delightful Dijon. Here and there. And finally, the mint macaron. Now when you put green over an orangey reddy colour, you get a brown. And in this case you get quite a muddy autumny brown. So I'm going to take that over to the Big Shot, and I'm going to use the companion die to cut that out, and I will be right back. And here they are, cut out, and here are some of the others, which I prepared earlier. I've sponged over the back of the leaves just with some delightful Dijon, just to give them some colour, and now I'm going to crumple them up. Good and hard. I want to get some good creases in there. Okay. Okay, and let's do this one as well. And I'm really, you know, squishing quite hard. I want some good wrinkles in there. And when I've got a few wrinkles, I'm going to come in with the, I'll start with the mint macaron and just brush over the top. And I'm just trying to catch those creases with a little bit of the mint macaron ink just to highlight them. And I may need to bring in something like crumb cake or something like that. Let's try the Delightful Dijon now as well. Let's see how that'll... Ah, that's better. That's getting me the wrinkly look I want. So I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to work on all of these leaves until I've got them looking nice and wrinkled and weather beaten. Other things that I'm going to be using are the fine linen thread, the burlap ribbon, the fine copper thread, and the enamel shapes from the Regals collection, and these are Cajun Craze. I've got a 1-inch strip of the crumb cake, and I've got my stamp mounted up on my block, and I've got always artichoke ink, and I'm just going to stamp that onto my crumb cake, and I'm going to leave a bit of room at the end. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's stamped nicely. I've got my triple banner punch here, and I'm just going to slide that in. I'm just going to pull back a bit because I don't want it too near the words I've stamped, and I think that's just about right. Okay, so let's put the elements together. I'm going to attach my DSP to the front of my card with a little bit of snail. I don't know why I said it like that, other than it's been a long morning. It really has. Right. So I'm going to put, that is just a little bit too long, so I'm just going to trim off, about 1/4 inch maybe, something like that. And we'll apply this with some snail as well. And we'll put that about there. Okay. Right, I'm going to make a little bundle of the leaves. Let's put that out of the way for a moment, otherwise I will get adhesive everywhere I don't want it and nowhere that I do. Okay. So which leaves do I want to use? Well, I want that one in the front, I think, because it's a nice small one. And what do you say? Okay. Okay, so I'm sort of happy with that, and I think I'm going to use some dimensionals here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a dimensional sort of in the middle of the leaf here. Right, just going to take that off. But this part of it, I'm going to stick down with wet adhesive. So that sort of raises that bit up just a little bit over the underlying leaf. Okay, so what about this one now? Where shall I put that one? So yeah, let's put that one there like that. And same thing again. I'm going to put a little bit of wet adhesive, a little bit of Tombow, and we'll pop this up on a dimensional, just so that it's raised. This leaf is raised a little bit above it, so it's not quite, you know, completely flat. Let's have a look how that's looking. And I'm just trying to decide if I want to add any more to it. Do I? Yeah, I think I do. So, same thing again. Bit of wet adhesive. And actually, I think I'll leave this one quite flat. I think I'll leave that one. I don't think I will actually build it up. So, okay, so I've got a nice little bundle of leaf shapes. So now I want to tie them off a little bit. So let's bring in my my other threads. So first off, I'm just going to catch them with some linen thread. Let's cut off a length of it. And I'm going to make a loop and sort of lasso them with the loop and pull that tight. And I'm going to wind it round a few times. Okay, until I can clearly see it there. And I'm just going to tie it off. I'm not going to do a bow or anything fancy, I'm just going to tie a knot. Okay, that's a bit scruffy looking, but you know what, that's okay. That's kind of the look I want. I don't want it perfect. I want it to all look a bit homemade, really. Okay, let's chop off the ends like so. Okay, so that's going to sit there thusly. Alright, so what else do I need? Right, I want to make it look like it belongs on a bit of burlap ribbon, so let's cut a bit of the burlap ribbon. How do I want it? I want it like that. Okay. And I'm going to use another piece of the linen thread and just tie that around the middle with the linen thread. I'm going to adjust that to where I want it, and I'm going to fray this out a bit. So, easiest way is just to cut between the threads and just splay them out a bit. And the same thing on this side. Just snip between the threads, just like that. And spread them out a bit. And Stampin' Up! Go to all this trouble to make beautiful ribbons, and what happens, we come along and we chop them all up. Okay. So I think it'll take a glue dot to stick that down. So are the glue dots going to be my friends today? This is the burning question of the day, because sometimes they like me and they play with me, and sometimes they don't. But today is one of the good glue dot days. Okay, so how's that looking? That's a little bit long over this side, so we'll give it a haircut, because we can. There we go. And that's starting to come together now. Alright. And I'm going to do one last thing in this corner, and that is I'm going to make some loops with a fine copper wire. So I'm going to put down a few glue dots. Shall we say about 3? Trying to find where the glue dots are now. There they are. Put 3 down like that. And then I'm going to get my fine copper thread. And this is so fine. And I'm just going to wrap it a few times around my 3 fingers, just like this. Okay. Quite a few times. So I've got something I can actually see. I'm just going to drop that onto those glue dots and arrange things so that they sort of stick out in some sort of random fashion. And now finally, or almost finally, keep still. We'll have a couple of dimensionals on the back of our leaves here. Is that one showing? No, that's all right then. Let's arrange our leaves like that. And last finishing touch, let's bring in the enamel shapes. And what shall I have? I think I'm going to have stars. My initial thought was dots, but I'm going to go with the stars, and I'm going to go 3 of them. So that's the first one. This is going to be the last one. I'm just going to twizzle that around a bit so that it's upright. Oh, come on. Honestly. There we go. Happy with that. So give that a push. That. And the third one will just go in to the middle there. And there we are. There it is, my finished card. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then please do comment, share, like and subscribe. I would love you to do all of those things. You can also visit my blog and my Facebook page. Information is below this video, and there's also a link to my Stampin' Up store where you can get your hands on the products and things that I have used today. I will be posting more videos soon, but for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that you will be back again soon. Bye bye.